Hey guys, Cameron with Hope to Canine Rescue and Home to Canine Dog Training. This is another episode of Rescued Dog Logs, and what we endeavor to do when we bring you these video clips is to share with you kind of the secrets and tips to getting great behavior out of dogs that are here for foster and training through our rescue or our private client program. And a lot of these things are going to center around extremely accessible tools like crates, slip leads, prong collars, things that as a foster or a rescue, you yourself can implement in order to resolve some of the most common and truly adoption prohibiting behavior issues that we see in dogs that are trying to get out of the system and into a committed family home. So I wanted to just take a few minutes and stop and record for you the process of getting Duke out of his crate. This is a really common inquiry that we receive through our free Q&A platforms over on the training page, as well as from clients who directly seek out behavior modification or resolving behavior issues in their dog, that their dog is overly excited when they greet them, when they try to get them out of the crate, when they try to dress them in their training tools or their basic collar and leash, that the walk starts excitably, that going out to go to the bathroom in the morning starts too excitedly. So I want to show you a really good example dog here. Now, one of the challenges we're going to face in this video is that I have already started the process of getting ready to take him out, but I realized I wanted to record this for you. So to be perfectly honest, what I've already done has had a tremendous impact on the behavior of this dog right now. And it was the simple act of using the crate door to let him know that he's not allowed to rush. I had dressed him in his remote collar in order to give him a correction and some feedback and information that whining while other dogs were being taken out was not an option. And then I went to go and actually remove him because it was his turn to go out and go potty. And I gave him a little bit of information and feedback on the remote collar. Again, that rushing the crate door, being overly excited, pushing into me, or whining, etc., was not going to be an option in a way that he would come out of the crate and be able to engage with me. So it was after all of those steps, which actually take place in about 30 to 60 seconds. It's very quick, 30 seconds probably, honestly, at the most. We already have a much calmer, more respectful dog. So to be fair, this is not first thing in the morning what I typically would see from Duke. However, I think that by demonstrating some of the typical behaviors that average owners or handlers will actually do, I will be able to maybe cultivate more excitement and challenge for this dog and show you a little more organic process of what it can look like with the average dog who hasn't already had some of the training that Duke has in place. And Duke in general is very excitable, very challenging dog to keep focused and calm. He has had to have a lot of training experience. That's the whining you hear right now. A lot of training experience and practice at duration and being calm on command in order to get him to a graduate level in our program where he can go to a home and be successful. But that being said, personality, temperament-wise, very excitable, pity, cattle dog mix. Just from the inside out, genetically, he's a guy that's 110% at all times. So it can be really hard for him to chill out, relax, and think carefully and have impulse control before taking action. And again, this is his first time out for the day. He has not been out to go potty. He's watched every other dog who's here go out and go potty ahead of him. So he is anxious to get outside and have his turn, and that will contribute to some of the behavior that we see. So, all right, I'll move on here and stop talking so much. Let me grab a leash so I can show you guys what that typically would look like as well, because if you're not working on prong or remote collar and you're just trying to put a leash on a foster dog or a slip lead, then I want to be able to demonstrate that as well. So what oftentimes happens is that right as people come up to the crate, the dog is excited and aroused, and that will often look like whining. They will sort of do this little shimmy dance, right? The tail might be going like crazy, and as soon as the door is open, the dog wants to rush forward. Now, this dog has been taught that he has to come on invitation, but he still makes mistakes because he gets very excited and overeager. The key is literally just use the door. Now, I didn't have to, it sounds like crazy because it's very noisy stuff clattering on here. Firm bonk with the door. The dog goes, whoops, I forgot what I was doing, and he sat for me. Do you guys see that? He literally sat for me and showed me that he understands that he should be totally patient and reverent to being permitted to come forward, and not before then does he rush up to the door. This is what you're looking for in your crate practice. Your threshold exercises is what I was trying to think of, are extremely impactful in getting a dog into a right state of mind and a correct perception of the relationship dynamic with you. This is a dog showing impulse control, calmness, thoughtfulness, respect of my space and my information, right? A dog that is much better prepared to go outside, where again the energy is going to go up and the stakes are higher and the challenge is greater. He's much better prepared right now by that simple interaction that we have, that little engagement that we have together, than he was before. If I was to just let him come barreling out of here, totally tuned out and disconnected from me and charging out to outside. It'd be much harder to get a dog in that latter situation to recall if something was problematic as we stepped outside, to pay attention and come back to me, to heal calmly and be by my side appropriately. Shh, quiet. It would be much harder for me to have a dog who is really nice and connected, and safe, right? Especially off leash. So this is a really simple, quick, important exercise for you guys to go through, the simple act of enforcing this threshold, okay? Letting this dog know that when you are experiencing the opening of your kennel, it is not an automatic implied invitation for you to come out and join me here. You've got to first get into the right state of mind, right? This is just absolutely imperative, because as soon as I start to move towards him, even moving my body around, handling the tools, the excitement and the energy level go up. And so this is going to be an incremental process for me, where as I begin to engage with him and become more intimate with him, if he escalates, excuse me, I can use the door again. I can use my verbal commands. If I've taught this dog that no means no, and that I've enforced it and held him accountable, he will bring himself down over and over and over again and hold himself accountable to the rules, right? The rules that every single time we do this, the same behavior result is expected, okay? Which is what's allowing him to act appropriately in this context right now. So I pet him. If I was the average person, average owner or foster, oh, I'm so excited to see you, you're so cute. No, right? He's gonna struggle. That becomes my fault. No, that becomes my fault that I just excited this dog. I put him in a wrong state of mind. Now I have whining. Now I have stress, arousal, anxiety, disconnect, overexcitement, and a dog who's struggling. No. So it's really important, you guys, that you do not set your dog up to fail by adding all of that energy and excitement, by being somebody who becomes very soft in a time where the dog is already having a hard time because they're excited to come out and engage with you. You need to be calm and assertive in this moment. That's how you're going to help your dog. Okay, good. Collar. So as I get ready to get the collar on and I'm touching my dog, even though I'm calm in my tone now, my interaction is more calm. No, down. Good. Just the physical connection, touching my dog, no, is enough to make it harder for him again, right? Mind is going up. Brain level, excitement, energy, arousal up here, going up. No. So now I can begin to tap the dog through the remote collar and hold him accountable. No whining. Whining is not allowed. That tells me you're in the wrong, no. You're in the wrong state of mind. You're not ready to come out. Does that make sense, guys? Now, if I was collaring this dog into a prong collar or flat collar and I wanted to already have the leash connected, I could be giving him a little leash information for that. No, it doesn't have to be through the remote collar, but we have a full remote collar training program here. That's our first choice tool. It works phenomenally well. It's extremely impactful for creating connection with dogs off leash and behavior reliability in your array of circumstances. If you're not using remote collar and you do not have to, you have plenty of other ways you can deal with this. Back to the door use to interrupt that choice, or if you're on leash clip to prong collar, no. You would go ahead and give collar corrections through that instead, okay? So I'm gonna connect him on leash here because I got dogs in the room that are working. Just because the leash connected doesn't mean the dog gets to come out. You guys see that? He knows that connectedness, eye contact with me, eye contact, patience, all of this is permission based. So I'm getting really nice choices here because every day, every time he comes out, it's the same ritual. Using the door, reminding him there's no rushing, shh, no. Remote collar tapping, no. If you've already trained your dog on remote collar, you can be using remote collar to enforce calmer state of mind. And then you just have to be patient. This has been 10 minutes, right? It doesn't take this long when you do it normally because you're not talking like I am. It's maybe 5 minutes for some of these guys that really, really struggle, where you need to close the door, walk away, and come back again. That might even need to happen. But most cases, this literally takes a couple minutes. You're bonking with the door, you're holding them accountable to that patience. You go to touch and be intimate and put the collar tools on. You might have to repeat, creating more calmness. And then you can give the release. Okay, let's go. Again, nope. You see how ready this guy is to, nope, launch into excited state? That's why we did all the work we did in the crate, no. To create a dog who was as calm as possible, no. Because he really, really struggles, guys. If this looks familiar to you, no. Then you've got to really focus on those strategic steps towards bringing the dog out in calmness. That's the only way you're going to be able to see him go from 0 to 60 and back down to 0 again on command. Be able to call him to the right state of mind. A dog who is in that explosive, amped, aroused, no, excited state is going to be very hard dog to manage on leash or off leash with all of the temptation and stimulus outside. A dog who is calm at every intersection, that knows that every threshold as we go through the gate will do the same thing, is going to be a lot easier to manage and a lot easier and more, it's going to be a lot more comfortable because he's going to be a lot more successful at knowing what his job is in that moment and looking to me for information. Okay? So hopefully this is helpful to you guys and makes sense. I just wanted you to see that strategy. This is a very excitable dog, a dog that with the average handler, you know, giving him affection through this exercise, shh, quiet, praising him, touching him, petting him would really screw him up, okay? They would really make it so much harder for him, no. To do his job, to be calm, no. Down. Good. And he's not going to find a solid adopter that way. He's going to be very unappealing to people who want to have him in their family home and see that he's able to be respectful and have impulse control in appropriate circumstances, right? But over and over again, we see these dogs riled up, too amped, too excited, and then out of that arousal and excitement, they make really bad decisions. They jump on people, they scare children, they put their mouth on people inappropriately, they don't come when called. There's a lot of fallout from that. So this dog is not going to get any physical touch from me when he's struggling to be calm. He's not going to get any excited praise or feedback from me when he's struggling to remain calm. The only time that that should be coming into the equation is when I'm okay with my dog riling up and it's an appropriate time to turn him loose. He will always be able to rile up and get excited, but what they don't come with is this off switch. And this is so important to being a good citizen and being successful in our human world, in our human environment, right? We have to strategically find the times for them to be able to go through the roof with excitement, energy, arousal, and ridiculousness, but we have to prioritize this as the more full-time goal for the state of mind that our dog is in, and they've got to practice a ton of it in order for it to become their default. So I will wrap here, guys. Please let me know if this is helpful to you. Again, don't forget to use that crate. It's the first threshold your dog deals with when they wake up in the morning and engage with you, and it should be one that you harness unequivocally. It's very simple to teach a dog not to rush out of the crate, and not rushing out of the crate teaches them not to rush through life, okay? Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you again soon.